Assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much for joining me, Dr. Muhammad. It's a beautiful day outside and I'm nice and groomed today, I guess, with a new haircut and a trim. And let's talk about shisha smoking today. Approximately 100 million people smoke shisha around the world. Some people call it shisha, others call it hookah or nargile, and some have even called it hubbly bubbly. But anyway, shisha smoking has become a crowd favourite amongst lots of different types of people. You find them in hotels, cafes, restaurants all around the world, and there's lots of controversy around whether shisha smoking harms people's health or not. So today we're going to answer that question really. So what does shisha contain? It contains three main components: water, flavour and coal. We're not going to talk about water because water is water, but as for the flavour, it can vary depending on who's produced the flavour. Flavour contains within it the flavouring, of course, apple, grape or whatever someone fancies. In addition to that, it contains nicotine, some tobacco and also occasionally some tar. The coal contains heavy metals, and these are what kind of burns to create the smoke that you get when you smoke shisha. When it does burn, it also produces carbon monoxide, which can have some degree of a health impact. But we'll talk about these different things now. So is shisha harmful? That's the million-dollar question, of course. And it's really difficult to answer that question for the following reasons. A lot of the studies that have been done looking at the health impacts of shisha smoking on people, a lot of the participants have been smokers, so they smoke shisha and cigarettes. So we don't know whether the health outcomes that have been seen are exclusively due to shisha or due to cigarettes. The other issue is long-term follow-up. Shisha is fairly recent, especially in the Western world. So we haven't actually followed patients up over 40 or 50 or 60 years to see the long-term exclusive impact of shisha on their health. However, because we know that the basic components of cigarettes and shisha are pretty much the same, we can speculate and actually, make a guess that the health impacts will be similar. How fast they happen and after how long, we have no idea. But let's look at some of the things we do know about shisha. The heart. Now the heart is one of the primary and most important organs in your body for getting blood to wherever it needs to be. Shisha smoking has been shown in the short term to increase heart rate and increase blood pressure. In terms of short-term effect, that's alright, because even running can do that. However, longer term studies, only a few of them have shown that this can be magnified in the long term. That can lead to things like your arteries becoming a little bit narrower and causing issues such as angina and heart problems, something that you definitely don't want. And you probably noticed that the lighting's changed. Typical British weather, of course. How about the lungs? Now this is the controversial area. Have you ever smoked shisha and felt incredibly lightheaded after your session? That's quite common, and that's because of something called carbon monoxide. When you smoke shisha, you burn the coal on top of it, and that produces carbon monoxide, which essentially kicks out and displaces oxygen. That reduces the amount of oxygen reaching your vital organs, including your brain. Now in the short term, your body just deals with it. But if you constantly smoke shisha, then certainly you're going to have some form of effect on your red blood cells, which carry the oxygen in the first place. We know that smoking can produce a number of different bad effects on your lungs. Lung cancers, COPD, bronchitis, asthma, the list goes on. Does shisha smoking produce the same level of disruption to someone's lungs? We don't know because of the reasons that I've explained before. But we have noticed a number of things. Stamina reduces, exercise tolerance reduces. Shisha smoking does have some form of an effect on the oxygen transfer inside someone's body, but that is yet to be fully established. Cancer. No one wants cancer. It's a terrible thing to go through and to see someone else go through, of course. But does shisha smoking increase your risk of cancer? And there's no easy way of saying this, but the answer is probably. You see, when you burn the coal once again, you produce a number of different carcinogens, cancer-causing particles. And those naturally go into very close spaces. Your throat is one of them, so throat cancers, your esophagus, so that's your food pipe going into your stomach. And those are the two main cancers that you're at an increased risk of. Pregnancy. Now, if you're pregnant and you're smoking shisha, then I don't know what the hell you're doing with your life. Because of course, if you're smoking shisha, you're doing all of the above things that we've mentioned to your child. So definitely don't smoke shisha or cigarettes or anything when you're pregnant. Finally, some myths. The first myth is that the water at the base of the shisha helps to filter out all of the nasty things within the flavour and the coal. That's definitely a myth, because it doesn't do anything other than help the smoke rise and allow the filtration system or the central system of the shisha to work properly. So unfortunately, you're still going to get some of those things in your body. The second thing is that shisha smoking is completely safe from any type of infections, because the smoke helps to get rid of all of the bugs at the tip of the actual pipe. That's also a myth, because when you're sharing a pipe between different individuals, you're naturally going to be at risk of getting oral infections. Especially now with COVID-19, you should really be careful if you are going to be smoking shisha amongst other people, of course. The last thing is some advice. Try and limit your sessions. If you're going to smoke shisha, there's no need to smoke it every single day, because we know that it doesn't contain much nicotine, so you don't get the internal addiction that cigarette smokers do when they're quitting. So space out your sessions. Don't have them back to back. Don't have them day after day, hour after hour. There's absolutely no need. Thank you very much, and Jazakumullahu khairan for tuning in once again. I hope this has been of some benefit to you all, and I'd really appreciate it if you can like, share and subscribe to my channel. I hope to indeed see you all soon. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.